In the desolate winter of South Dakota, there was a bone-chilling tale that sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to drive through the icy landscapes at night. It was a story of isolation, fear, and a sinister presence lurking in the heart of the snow-covered plains. Sarah, a young woman traveling alone, found herself on a desolate road as darkness descended and the snowfall intensified. The road stretched ahead like an endless white tunnel, and the only sound that echoed through the stillness was the soft crunch of snow beneath her tires. As Sarah drove deeper into the wintry night, a sense of unease settled upon her. The snowflakes danced eerily in the headlights, casting ghostly shadows that seemed to move in unnatural ways. She glanced at her rearview mirror, but all she could see was an empty expanse of white. Her unease turned to apprehension when she noticed a figure in the distance, standing by the side of the road. It was a man, dressed in tattered clothing, his face hidden beneath the hood of his jacket. Sarah's instincts told her to keep driving. But something compelled her to stop and offer assistance. She rolled down her window, the bitter cold instantly biting at her face. "Are you okay?" she called out to the mysterious figure. The man turned his head slowly, and Sarah's blood ran cold at the sight of his eyes. They were empty, devoid of any emotion or humanity. His voice, when he spoke, sent a chill down her spine. "I need a ride," he whispered, his words carrying an otherworldly resonance. Sarah's heart raced, her mind torn between sympathy and fear. Against her better judgment, she unlocked the passenger door. And the man climbed into the car, his presence suffusing the vehicle with an eerie coldness. As they continued down the desolate road, Sarah felt an oppressive silence settle over them. The man sat in silence, his gaze fixed straight ahead, never once acknowledging her presence. The snowfall grew heavier, reducing visibility to mere feet. Suddenly, Sarah's car skidded on a patch of black ice, careening off the road and crashing into a snowbank. The impact left her disoriented, the world spinning around her. When she regained her senses, she realized the man had vanished. Nervously, Sarah stepped out of the car, the biting cold seeping into her bones. She called out into the night, but her voice was swallowed by the howling wind. Panic set in as she realized she was alone, stranded in the freezing wilderness. As she trudged through the knee-deep snow, searching for any sign of help, she noticed a flickering light in the distance. A sense of hope surged within her, and she followed the glow, hoping it would lead her to safety. The light emanated from an old, dilapidated cabin nestled among the trees. Its windows were cracked, and the once vibrant paint had faded. Sarah hesitated for a moment, her instincts warning her of the unknown horrors that might lie within. Driven by desperation, she pushed open the creaking door and stepped into the cabin. The air was stale, and the flickering candlelight revealed a room frozen in time. Dust coated the furniture, and cobwebs hung from the ceiling like delicate lace. As Sarah explored the cabin, a sense of foreboding washed over her. Strange whispers echoed through the hallways, and cold drafts of air brushed against her skin. The cabin seemed to groan with a presence that defied explanation. In the corner of a room, she discovered an old, weathered photograph. It depicted a man, his face hauntingly familiar, standing in front of the same cabin. The realization struck her like a bolt of lightning. The man she had picked up on the road was the same man in the photograph. Fear gripping her heart, Sarah heard footsteps echoing from the hallway. She turned, her eyes widening in terror as the figure of the man emerged from the shadows. His eyes, now filled with a malevolent glow, bore into her soul. "You should have kept driving," he hissed, his voice dripping with malice. "Now, you'll never leave this place." Sarah's pulse raced as she darted towards the door, desperate to escape the clutches of the malevolent presence. But as she reached for the handle, the door slammed shut, trapping her inside. For days, weeks, or perhaps even longer, Sarah was held captive by the vengeful spirit. The cabin became her prison, its walls closing in on her, its dark secrets consuming her sanity. The chilling winds whispered tales of despair, and the relentless snowfall obscured any hope of rescue. And so, the story of Sarah, the ill-fated traveler, became another haunting legend in the wintry plains of South Dakota. Those who dare to venture through the snow-covered roads on dark nights still speak of the cabin, recounting tales of a lost Sully. Apologize, but it seems that I have exceeded the word count limit in the previous response. Please allow me to continue the story from where we left off. And so, the story of Sarah, the ill-fated traveler, became another haunting legend in the wintry plains of South Dakota. Those who dare to venture through the snow-covered roads on dark nights still speak of the cabin, recounting tales of a lost soul trapped in a realm between the living and the dead. Sarah's family never heard from her again. Her disappearance remained a mystery, leaving them with only unanswered questions and a deep sense of grief. The authorities conducted a search, but the unforgiving winter swallowed any traces of her existence. Years passed, and the cabin stood as a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked in the wintry wilderness. Locals who stumbled upon it claimed to hear whispers in the wind, carrying Sarah's name. Some even swore they saw her ethereal figure wandering among the snow-laden trees, forever trapped in a realm of perpetual winter. To this day, the cabin remains untouched, a place feared and avoided by those who know its grim history. Its walls hold the secrets of the past, whispering echoes of the tragic tale to anyone willing to listen. And so, if you ever find yourself driving through the desolate winter nights of South Dakota, beware the snow-covered roads and the eerie glow of an abandoned cabin. For you never know what malevolent spirits lie in wait, ready to claim the souls of those who dare to venture into the heart of the wintry abyss.